morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you for staying with us. We continue this morning conversations in studio as we speak with two beautiful young ladies. We're speaking with Alana Henry.
Hi.
She is the program manager, and Karine Stewart, assistant youth center coordinator, as we speak about the Pro Youth launch and convention that is taking place here in Tobago today. Good morning, ladies, and welcome.
Good morning, Adanna. And
Right.
thank you for having us.
Of course, a
Yeah.
pleasure to have you. Of course, we're talking about International Youth Week starting today, August 12th. And so we're talking about this launch. It's a youth launch. For our viewers who are not acquainted with what this is about, can we just have a brief overview as to what this launch is about?
Yeah,
Or the
sure.
program itself?
Sure. Good morning, viewers, right? So today we're having the launch of Pro Youth. Pro meaning providing real opportunities for youth. And of course, the theme for International Youth Day today, well, for the rest of the month, is from clicks to progress, providing youth digital pathways for sustainable development. So of course, the launch today will focus on digitization and technology and trying to bridge the gap between what currently exists and the existing opportunities that are available for youth. Yeah.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Of course, always providing a platform for young people to get information or exposure, any type of training or development is always welcomed in the space here in Tobago. So now we're having this program. How can youth access the program itself? How can they participate in the program? And
Right.
what are the expected outcomes?
Okay, so there are 3 phases of the launch today. So the first part of the launch is actually a TED Talk style kind of conference that is happening at Shore Park. It's available to the public, so it's open to the public. So we're inviting everyone to come in. So there's a panel discussion where we have persons like Kyle Maloney of Tech Beach, Akel Franklin, who owns Anson Moses, Jonica Romeo, Denell Smith Sandy, who is part of
the owner.
So they'll be a part of a panel where they'll be discussing how digitization and technology can actually assist in solving situations like crime, which we know is now an emerging issue on the island. Education, innovation, and technology, of course.
Even finance.
And policies and governance, but all of that using digitization and technology. So the first part of the program, which starts at 10, will focus on that panel discussion. And then after we have an exhibition where we have, there are a couple areas that will be exhibiting. So we have the creative sector, we have the technological sector, educational sector, and the finance sector in the space today. Yeah.
Right. And so we're speaking about technology and the advancement, as you mentioned, how we can influence detecting crime and all these types of things. And so you have this group of people who are going to be here discussing these topics.
Yeah.
So this is happening today for the launch. In terms of the youth participating, or you said it's open, is there like some type of registration that they have to? How do you get to be a part of the conversation? Because here you have a panelist of people who are going to be speaking. Is it going to be an interactive conversation, or is it, because with young people, something about them is the attention span,
Of course.
right? And so how do you plan to engage young people actively in this conversation to ensure that they go away with something of value to them rather than coming to be lectured to?
Of course, and that is a beautiful question, Adanna, which I love, right? So we're going to be using technology in order to engage them, not just the social media, but even in the space. We have devices set up, so with questions that will be posted, they can respond accordingly throughout the day. So we'll also have random questions being posted for the public, and even on the day this morning we have 150 of our World of Work participants who will be in the space. We have 150 summer internship participants who will be in the space. We have persons from the Office of the Chief Secretary internship program and the Division of Health internship program, and also 40 participants from our new program called Trade Trek, which we'll be launching today, right? And Karine will now tell you a little bit about that program.
Right. So Trade Trek is a pilot project that we're working on that kicks off starting tomorrow. They will have a week full of training. Within that training, they're going to learn financial management, skill-based, or I should say apprenticeship management, in terms of the skills that they would like to access and the tools that they would need to use to fulfill those commitments that they will be making. So within that week, they have the, as I said, time management, skill-based training, and then with this program as well, these participants are going to choose the actual trade that they would like to learn. So it's not like we're giving them a trade. So if someone comes and they want to learn makeup artistry, there will be access to that. If they want to learn welding, carpentry, we look into the public sector and we place them accordingly. And then after that, it runs for 2 months on the job. And after that, they would now be either the company wants to keep them on, or we see how best we could still foster some kind of relationship.
Because I was going to ask, we have all these programs that we set up, especially during the vacation period, to capture young people who are either just leaving school or on vacation. And so we place them in all these different programs, and what happens after that?
Right.
So after the integration into, some of them might be absorbed into the workspace, and then there will be others. Is there a follow-up in terms of, okay, so I went through my 2 month period. Do you follow up to see how many persons were absorbed into workplaces and how many persons were not? Do you do an assessment to see why not?
So
and do you provide the additional support to get them into something that is beneficial to them?
So that's where our evaluation after the program happens. That's where we now look back into them and see, okay, which organization would have kept them on, how best we could help them to find some sort of ground in order to say, okay, I am not just this type of person, because the program caters to person, as I was supposed to say, persons who would have left school without completing high school, persons who are unemployed within the age of 16 to 25 that are just, let's say, for instance, maybe loitering, if you want to call it that, or persons who would have had some kind of struggled background where society kind of threw them to the side, and we are now trying to foster these people back into realization and the comfort of society without feeling left out, because we tend to forget about them. Even with the program, CCC is willing to partner with us to help place them better and help foster them and develop them more into the system of the trade.
All right, so you have this this convention and launch today, right? And what happens for the rest of the week? Because it's Youth Week. Do you have anything in terms of how is the program rolling out for the entire week, or is it just today?
No, the program in terms of Trade Trek runs for this entire week. However, on Friday we have another pro-youth based day, which is on Friday, which we are calling Pro Health. So anything that is focus health-wise, so it's going to be sports activities. We're going to have, I think, is the unit from TIMA, which is CERT, in case of anything. You could have your pressure check, that kind of thing. We are trying to focus everything with the word pro. So once it helps us to see young persons better themselves, so it could be pro-youth, pro-health, what is the other word I'm looking for?
Pro-inclusivity.
Yeah, it's just a whole global aspect of what pro-youth would be going forward.
Absolutely amazing stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're speaking with Alana Harry, and Karine Stewart here. We're talking about the launch of the Pro Youth Convention, which is taking place today there in Shore Park. So, of course, all are invited. I heard it's an open event, as you mentioned, and so all are welcome to come and participate and to see how best you can benefit from what is being meted out to you today there. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and we do wish you the very best, all the success as you continue with this program and other programs that are geared towards supporting young people in our spaces, especially as the crime situation that we have. So we're hoping that programs can absorb them and take them off the streets and give them other.
Yeah, and Adanna, before we leave, and thank you again for having us, but before we leave, we just want to ask you, what does pro-youth mean to you?
To me, it means supporting young people. Because if you know anything about me, and when we're talking about young people, I have a soft spot where young people are concerned. And my previous co-host would always say, it only takes one person to support a young person. And that is what I am about, supporting them, ensuring that they in a safe space where they can speak freely, because sometimes young people feel as if there's nobody on my side, nobody understands me, and they think that I am young and rebellious. And so for me, supporting a young person, providing a safe space for them where they can express themselves and provide opportunities that will help them to maximize their full potential.
Yeah.
So that is
I
what
love that
Pro Youth
response.
means
Yes,
to me.
very
Thank you.
good.
Thank you so much for being my interviewer this morning here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. And before we go for a break, will you guys help me to ask our audience to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.